Hello and welcome in another episode of Derail Valley, where I'm doing my best to drive virtual locomotives without causing major disaster. Or do I? Anyway, before we begin, I'd like to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already and follow up with bell button to turn on the notifications and stay up to date with my latest content. Right, so let's begin today's episode, and you probably remember yesterday's episode or last episode that I did, where I was doing some shunting jobs around harbor and town. And you've probably noticed that I barely made any sort of profit because, everything is super expensive. So let me just get into the game window. I obviously managed to make just enough money. Oops, let me just, where is that? Yeah, there we go. I managed to make just enough money to be a little bit over the top when I paid for this license. And with that license in my, with that license in my bin, I can now accept jobs with long trains, or long trains to be my jobs, and basically I can pull all that weight. Well, that doesn't increase what my loco can do. It still has a maximum tractive effort of like 400 tons or something. So I can't pull heavier trains. If I do that, I might cause an accident, and that's not the point. Especially that if I'm playing on hardcore difficulty, as you can see, those jobs, even if I got long trains, well, yeah, they don't really pay. I have to pretty much go to the other end of the map in order to make $12,595. And that is without bonus. So I am in fact hoping that this time I'm going to make some sort of extra money out of it. So before I started to record this video, I went ahead and scouted the area, because this is massive station. It has pretty much 3 sidings, passenger stations. There is a military siding. There are 4 sidings, because there's that one chemical siding down there. But thankfully my cars or wagons that I need are already attached to my locomotive. Oh, let me get to this place. Yeah. So all I have to do is to accept this task, and from the moment I will put this card into job validator, I have 65 minutes to get my fluffy ass up there to machine factory in town. It is quite long route, if you ask me. So it is going to be longer episodes. So if you are planning to watch something short, unfortunately, sorry to disappoint you, but this game is all about long tasks. As you probably noticed, the last 2 episodes are pretty much about an hour long, and this one won't be that much different. I will try to make it sooner, so I will accept this job, and the clock is on. I need to really quickly get into my loco. There we go, and I can throw this in here. Fire her up. Oh. There we go. Release the brake. Turn on the reverser. Sound the horn. And we can go. I've set everything up, so for now, until we leave the station, I should be pretty safe. So I can take my time to adjust the accelerator and check the book what I need to do. So D30, which is this siding here, D2S. Yeah, that's D3O. There we go. It's verified. We need to hold this to C3I in that station. So let me just quickly check station map. There we go. And that is no, it should be machine factory and town. So machine factory, and that is loading yard C. Okay, so that is overview of the machine factory station. Ooh. Okay, I'm doing 20. I do have right speed, so let me put that booklet here and let's check the world map as I'm going through this station. Okay, so we are going to approach machine factory and town from the south. There's no other way. So approach from the south, and we need to get to siding C. Okay, so siding C is the first junction to the right and first to the left. We need to remember that, and then siding C, we need 3I. Okay, and on siding C, that is first siding to the right. It is going to save us a lot of time if we know where we have to go. Right, I will leave that in there. It's going to help me a lot. We are going ahead. Everything is plugged in. Everything is ready and set. We got good speed to carry on through this station, so hopefully it is going to save us that precious minutes that we might need to do some last minute shunting at our destination, because obviously there is always a risk that we might need to actually do some light shunting jobs in machine factory. So let me just bring the world map in. Okay, we are doing good. So when we leave harbor and town, I don't want to go with that south route. I'm not sure if I can. Oh yeah, I can use the cursor to show it on the map. So I'm not going to go with this route because I know that those bends will have like 20 kilometers per hour speed limit, and my local will be struggling already. So, in order to actually save up some time, I will go with this route, get pretty much to the steel mill, turn into farm, go through farm, oil well central, and then cut city southwest to the north. And that's how we are going to get to our destination. I will be speeding a little bit because I want to get there as soon as possible. But on the other hand, I need to stay relatively safe because, well, playing on hardcore, again, I'm gonna repeat myself once more. As we are playing on hardcore, we are barely making any profits while performing our tasks. Which is understandable, and that's how the game should be, because it needs to be challenging. But on the other hand, if the game is challenging in that regards, then there is not much space for error. Obviously, developers thought about this somewhat, and they gave everyone automatic some sort of insurance system where all the costs I would have to pay for like losing this cargo or damaging those wagons, which pretty much that costs arm and a leg if you just slightly damage one of those wagons. I think full repair cost of single platform wagon which I got behind me is around $11,000. That's for a full cost of the wagon itself. I'm not talking about the cargo, because cargo is another story. I think this paper should tell us what's the total the total train value is $330,000. So if we're gonna damage this train, or if we're gonna completely destroy all the wagons, we would have to pay $250,000 for the repair cost only of the cargo. I'm not counting the shunter itself, which will probably cost another 50 grand. So it is very expensive, but thankfully with that insurance that we got, we wouldn't have to pay entire cost. Insurance would cover most of it, but player still has to pay I think up to $5,000 at the beginning of the game, and every time you hit that gap where insurance triggers, it actually increases the sum of money that you have to pay in order to repay another damages. So it is very, very beneficial for the player to actually avoid damaging the cargo. It is pretty heavy load, and I need to prepare myself to turn the switches. Okay, this switch is turned in the right direction, so I can hide my gun or my radio. I need to use sander in order to be able to climb up this hill. So I could go there along this lake, and it would probably provide me with a lot of great views. But I can always climb up this hill and get extra downhill force while approaching steel mill. I need to watch out here, because from what I remember, I think that turn is with speed limit of 40. As you can see, my speed is stable, which is pretty good. We got our switches set correctly, and now we are going uphill, so we can add some extra torque. We might hear some wheel slip very soon, because I think we need to keep our speed below 40 kilometers per hour, because one of those turns should really soon be with such speed limit. So on next junction set we need to turn left. Okay, we need to bear that in mind, and now we need to keep an eye on our engine temperature, because this is going to be rising. Yeah, we are getting some wheel slip. I will use sander to support my loco, and now we can increase our speed as we climb. It is very important that we go as fast as we possibly can, because obviously that saves us this precious time that we won't have to spend later, or that will earn us this juicy bonus. And those bonuses will be a little bit more important right now. Limit of 40, so I need to keep my speed in check. Yeah, 35, that sounds good. Let me just turn off the sound, because the less resources we use throughout the journey, the less we will have to pay. So again, watching your resources, trying to save up and squeeze those extra pennies wherever you can is highly beneficial. So for example, idling in this case, where we I can't remember how is it exactly called, when you idle the engine and let the loco just roll. Can't remember how was it how it was called. Anyway, But yeah, letting engine to idle a little bit is also going to save you some money because you are burning less fuel, obviously. Yeah, I think that is it when it comes to any tips that I would have at this point of the journey. We can now focus on watching those beautiful and nice views that the game is providing us. I can turn a little bit more on the accelerator. It is pretty tight turn, and I think there was a 50 km/h speed limit. I can't believe it is that low. Oh, just look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I have to admit that views are absolutely amazing, considering that it is a small studio and these guys are pretty much just appeared with that game. Well, the game is on for like a year already, but I have to admit they really made amazing routes, and I'm really happy to see that. Right, gradients haven't changed, but we should be approaching. Yeah, we should soon see the junctions. So we are doing 35 km/h, which is pretty much fair speed for now. That is, well, good moment to have that low speed, because next speed limit is 40. I think developers needs to redo all those signs, because having different speed limit on every single turn makes no fucking sense, in my opinion. So we definitely need to get that reworked. Anyway, speed limit of 50 just as I'm hitting 40 on my clock. Yeah, I don't hear any extra noises coming from the loco. I can slow down, pick up my magical radio, because I have a feeling that these switches, oh, this switch is set correctly and it has 80 speed limit. Oh, and we have to go up. I do not trust this switch, but it says we can go, so let's go. Yeah, we are gonna climb this mountain. Engine temperature is constantly rising, but we should be okay. We are going to, yeah, we are about to approach uneven ground, which means that we might be very close to the peak, and then we will be able to save some fuel, because as you can see we've just burned quite a lot of it. I have to say that the loco was pretty much completely serviced and refueled before we set to our new route. Basically the only fuel that was burnt was the fuel that I used to move between Roundhouse and the siding where all those wagons were parked. So we pretty much started with full sand, full fuel, full oil. Everything was maxed out. But right now we are doing better. We are at the top of that hill. Oh my goodness, just look at this. This view is absolutely amazing. I just have to make a photo. Right, speed limit 60. We really need to keep an eye on that, because right now we are approaching an area where we will start to go downhill. There's gonna be a bigger speed limit, which is good for us. We can speed up a little bit and pick up some pace, but we will have to work a little bit with our brake. Okay, we've just kitted up the engine a little bit, but as we are on even ground, I can just leave the engine on idle, which will save us some fuel and cool down the engine itself. Okay, and we are going downhill from what I can see. Is it? No, we are not picking up any speed. Might be because some of the wagons are still on the hilltop, but I have a feeling that we are indeed going downhill right now, but yeah, the speedometer doesn't reflect that really. Anyway, I need to keep an eye on that because it might really quickly turn into a very bad and critical situation if I will keep speeding up. I don't trust those bends. Ooh, just look at this. Oh, those views. Those views are very, very distracting, I have to say. Oh, we can now actually step on it. Okay, I like it. Right, let's see the world map. Yeah, we got pretty straight route in front of us for some time. So let's use that opportunity to actually get some speed and perhaps earn some extra time. And then when we get to the junction, we will have to slow down on those. We can still go quite fast if I remember correctly, but I don't want to jump through those junctions with high speed, because you shouldn't be going through such places with such speed. But not sure what the game will let me do. Oh yeah, we are now really getting there. 65. Can I think the speed limit of shunter is like 70 if I'm using on the engine, but I am about to go downhill. Okay, the speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour, so I can really step on it. 90. Okay, I'm at 70 and I'm just stopped out. Oh, 75, almost 75. Okay, I can now let the engine to rest a little bit. 80. Ooh, speed limit is going down. 90. Okay. It's not that bad, but I am approaching. 80. Yeah, I am using only locomotive brake, which is not the most efficient one. But oh, 70, yeah. 50, oh my goodness. Yeah, I rather use full braking force. Okay, now we got correct speed. Before brakes will release, I should get nice 30 kilometers per hour. Yeah, there we go. All the brakes released, and now I can speed up a little bit. I prefer to slow too much instead of ram myself into the junction, which would eventually result in some sort of derailment or damage to the cars. I don't want to suffer any sort of damage, because I don't really have money to cover the costs of repairs. So it is wise to actually do your job right, even if it has to sacrifice some of your time. I'm not too worried about wheel slip and damaging the wheels in my loco. If I have to do it, I'd rather take extra 2% damage to my wheels than to derail $300,000 worth of cargo, if you get the point. So yeah, there are better and worse choices, and unfortunately I need to play it safe because everything costs pretty much the same as it would on lower difficulty settings, but my income is not that high, so yeah, that's extra few dollars that I'm gonna make from this job, and I'm not gonna get paid a fortune for that, even if I make it before end of the time limit. It's not gonna cover eventual costs. So that's the main idea behind why I'm playing it really safe. I still think I'm doing fairly good, but I'm not making large income out of these jobs, that's for sure. Anyway, we are about to approach another junction where we need to turn left. Oh, and we are going downhill right now, if I remember correctly, yeah. So we need to engage loco brake just a little bit, just enough to hold our speed. Why I'm not using train brake? Well, because it's way too strong, so that light braking on the loco will give us enough slow down, or that slowing force, so we hopefully won't derail, and we will have enough time to react if there is anything up ahead. Right, I can turn off the cab light because it's starting to be annoying. Yeah, speed limit is 50 now. So I am at the speed limit. And now I need to turn left. And as you can see, I am going through this junction while braking both with my consist and with my loco. So I am losing speed eventually. I will now release all the brakes and top out at 35 kilometers per hour. I haven't seen any further speed limits. Okay, I will just turn that switch to avoid ramming into it. Ooh, that sounded really harsh. Yeah, we were actually going pretty fast, and we are in fact speeding up. I don't want to speed up because there is another junction that we need to go through, and it already shows 50 kilometers per hour. I don't want to go too fast through this section because speed limits are changing. And what does it say? 30. Okay, 30 to the left, and we are above 30. I will use train brake to slow down because I need to slow down rapidly, and I really don't want to pick up any extra speed. I might give it a touch on accelerator now. Yep. Okay, everything seems to be fine. You can hear our consist to slow down a little bit, but that is normal and perfectly fine. We probably did some damage to our wheels, but I'd rather suffer that than jump off a junction in the wrong way, I guess. Right, I don't think I've been doing any jabs over this area, but it's worth watching where those switches are turned, and that's diagonal, is it? That white bar is pretty much showing which way you are gonna go on the junction, so it's worth watching where those flags or which direction those flags are showing if you don't want to use your radio, or if you don't have it by any chance. Right, anyway, we are going in the right direction, which is very, very good. So let's now get some extra speed. We've already burned half of our fuel, which is amazing. But anyway, we are halfway through. It shouldn't take that long from farm. I'm not gonna lie. It might feel like it's gonna be long route, but it really isn't. From now, it should be pretty straightforward, and speed limits are not that tough in this area. I wonder what's there. That looks intriguing. Right. Anyway, let's watch ahead. We are hitting 35 kilometers per hour. Not sure what's the speed limit in here, but we should be all right. Is it? Yeah, we are all right. And speed limit up ahead is 110 and now 80. Yeah, definitely developers need to rework those signs, because there's no point putting 110 kilometers per hour speed limit for a distance that is smaller than a length of the longest locomotive in the game. Oh, okay. And now we need to let it rest. Yeah, there's another switch in front of us. Oh, just look at this. There is a speed limit of 30 going to the left. Wow. So we need to watch out on that. All the switches are set, so it's not that bad. But we are a little bit too fast. So I need to watch out. Is there a bend by any chance? I don't think there is. Right, we are doing 45, so it's not a critical. We still have a chance to stop. How are we doing? We are doing pretty well. And the next speed limit is 70. I think we should be okay with the speed we got. Let's give it a little bit of a horn. It's, well, too little too late, I guess, but we should be okay. If we won't jump from this turn, the next one seems to be safe, considering that there is a 70 kilometer per hour speed limit. And now the next speed limit is 100, so we can speed up a little bit. And yeah, the next one should be pretty narrow, so those gonna be series of tight turns, but then we got a long stretch of pretty much straight road up ahead, so that's definitely going to boost us up. And then we need to watch out on those junctions when we reach the station, so it's pretty okay. Right, next junctions up ahead. We already got a sign, a speed limit of 50. We are doing 40. We should be safe for now. Wow. I have to admit that post-patch you can move really, really fast across the map. That's a massive improvement. But we still need to keep our eyes peeled, because there are some dangers up ahead. Yeah, speed limit of 30. Yeah, when we turn to the right, we need to keep our speed limit low. 30 kilometers per hour. Okay, we just went below. We are going in the right direction, so everything is okay. We are slowing down even further, but that's what you get when you are using train brake. It's much slower to release, but on the other hand, it is keeping your train safe. By doing so, you are making sure that you can actually deliver the cargo, and that's the main goal of our trip. If I won't be able to deliver the cargo, or if I will damage the cargo while delivering it, I will definitely do much more damage than just the cargo. At this moment in the game, we are obviously trying to save up every single penny, every single cent, dollar, you name it, you call the value. I think we are using dollars in here. Yeah, we are using dollars. So pretty much trying to not spend extra for repairs that we don't want to cover is a great idea. At least that's what I think about it. Just look at those views, they are absolutely amazing. That river down there, there's another, yeah, that's gonna be another uphill route. We need to watch out on that. Speed limit of 50 up ahead. We are doing 35, so I should be relatively safe. Should be. Because there are no guarantees. I need to keep my gun in check. Yeah, the switch is set correctly. And what are the speed limits? 50, 80, 90. Okay, I'm surprised. Oh, but there's gonna be rapid drop in a speed limit soon. So let's be prepared, because I can see the map and I know what's coming. So that, yeah, that is 50 down there. So definitely, if we would keep speeding up, we might find ourselves in a bad spot of having to slow down really fast by like 20 kilometers per hour, which is not something I really want. I would like to avoid such. Oh yeah, that's 30. Wow. So I better start slowing down, because yeah, that is pretty tight turn there. Okay, I'm gonna slow even past 30 or below 30 if you prefer to name it that way, because that turn doesn't look like a turn that you can negotiate at 30 kilometers per hour having 400 tons of cargo behind you. I'd rather approach this with a very low speed. Derailment is not an option, and I shall succeed. Wow, this station looks nice. I really wish to bring some cargo in here. Oh, and there is a shop in there. So we might be able to buy some licenses or nice equipment. That's a good thing to know. Right, let's see the world map. Yeah, so now we are approaching the long stretch. That is pretty much a straight road. So we can now rack up the speed. It's gonna take a while before our loco will get to that, because we are being pulled back by nearly 400 tons of cargo. But I will gradually increase the speed to eventually get through this short stretch that is right up ahead with yeah, I'm trying to speed up too fast. I need to give that engine time to get to a proper speed before I can rack up the accelerator even further. But it's gonna take a while. We are not using steam locomotive that would be able to actually completely smash it in terms of building up speed, and we are not using that DE6. I think that's the next steam. That's the next diesel locomotive that we can unlock, and it costs like $200,000 to do so. Anyway, we are getting there. We are getting there, boys and girls. Oh, still getting some wheel slip. I really don't want to use sand. Because that's extra resource, but on the other hand, yeah, I think using sand will give us that precious boost that we desperately need. Now I can turn off the sand, yeah. I'm not sure what's the price of sand, but it's definitely cheaper than repairing our wheels. Right, I need to keep my eyes peeled because I believe that this junction will hide some nasty surprises. And yeah, I will have to reduce the speed on accelerator. I am right now slightly damaging the engine, but I want to rack that speed up. Now I can let the train roll and reduce engine temperature. Oh, 70. Yeah, we are getting there. We are getting there, and I believe, yeah, that's 50. Oh my goodness, we definitely need to slow down. Right, I can now release the brakes. We will turn left, which is exactly where we want to be. We are slowing down again, but this is not a problem. And again, yeah, speed limits are 50, but I don't know the route, and I'd rather play it safe than to rush it. We are still getting some squeaking from the brakes, but it will go away. Oh, too much energy. Okay, we are doing good, but I don't trust this turn. Seriously, I wouldn't get into this junction with 50. I can't believe that somebody would put 50. No. That is definitely 30 km/h turn. At least that's how it looks from my perspective. I don't think I would trust this turn on 50. Oh, that shows 80. Yeah. Right. I'm not sure how much time passed since we started recording because I don't have any clock nearby, and I didn't took notes of time. But hopefully we are on schedule and we will be able to actually get that nice and juicy time bonus out of this mission. So I will try to shunt this train as soon as possible, leave it on the right junction, stop it, and hopefully get that extra money that I believe I totally deserve for this one. Let's just check if our wagons are still there. And just look at those views. Wow. Absolutely amazing. This place is absolutely amazing. There is a factory back in there, and yeah, that's machine factory and town. We are getting there. Speed limit is 50, so I'm not worried. We are building up temperature though, which means that engine is struggling, mostly because we are probably going uphill. We need to turn right, and that's the right turn, and now we are gonna go uphill. Speed limit is high. The problem is that we've already, yeah, unfortunately that is something we will have to do. Sand on, and let's get going. We just need to climb this hill. I will have to reduce the throttle a little bit as soon as we get to 100 degrees of temperature, but well, that is something we need to deal with. Yeah, that raising temperature is worrying. So I will do that, and I will use some inertia to get us through that bridge. We are gonna lose some speed, but we need to lose some temperature as well. Right, and now I need to keep my eyes peeled because we are getting into this station. Right, engine temperature is now lower and our speed is lower to 50. Right, I can crank up on the accelerator. Engine temperature is not rising, which is good. But our speed is going down. Oh dear, this is not easy station, but we are almost there, and pretty much that extra minute or two, I guess, is not going to make that much of a difference. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Right, so let's look at the station map once more. It's the first to the right and then first to the left. Okay, and the speed limit is that the one? I believe that is the one. I am doing 20, so it's not that bad. And then the first one to the left, which is this one. And I think that's gonna put us on siding C. I am gaining some speed, which means that we are on even ground right now. We don't need to gain any more speed. 25 kilometers per hour is more than enough to move around the station. And hopefully this is going to be junction C. And now, oh, 30, 30, 30, all over the place. And turn, stop on. Where do I need to be? C3I to S3I. So you need to be switched. And you need to be switched. And right now I am entering C3I. Train is slowing down just a little bit. But I am on the right siding, which is very, very convenient. We can now just pull this train in, and the train is in, so I can now engage the brakes. And now engage full locomotive brakes as well. Good. So let me just get out. Disconnect the trains. There we go. I can now release that brake. Oh, release that brake. And just pull myself away from. Come on. Just a little bit. That touch. There we go. Now I can engage full local brake. I need this. And I think I forgot about something. Yeah, where is the station office? That's the good question. Oh my goodness. Right, I'm getting too much ahead of myself. Right, station office should be right next to me, in fact. That is station office, there we go. So, that's the job, and now we can give it back. And 45 minutes. We got that done in 45 minutes. We just made 20 grand. Wow. If you think about it, we pretty much... There we go. We pretty much made how much is that? Nearly 10 times more money from this job than we did from shunting job that took us pretty much the same amount of time that this job took us. And let's see. Yeah, we racked up around 6,000 in servicing costs. I'm not talking about this one because obviously if I would pay that in that machine, then I'm paying double for service fee, and I don't want to pay double. So it's much more convenient for me to actually find where is that siding to actually fix my loco. Where is that? That is passenger station. I might in fact use station map to see where that is. Right, so I'm on siding C. I would need to reverse completely from this siding. Go back to pretty much station entrance, which is through that and that. And then I need to get to the roundhouse, which is on the other side of the station. So I won't be showing that to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to get informed about my new uploads, hit that notification bell button and don't forget to share your comments down below. Have a great day and see you all later. Later. Out.